deadline is looming for NSFAS applications for the 2025 academic year. The application process opened on the 20th of September and closes this weekend. The Department of Higher Education says it will ensure that the scheme is ready to process the applications, but also to avoid some of the issues that the scheme faces every start of the academic year. To discuss this, I'm joined by Freeman Nomvalo, who is the administrator at NSFAS. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Nomvalo. Thanks very much for your time. On the eve of applications closing, what would you say has been or how would you describe the response so far from the time applications were opened?
Good afternoon for you, and good afternoon to your viewers as well. The response has been quite overwhelming. At first, it was a bit slow. As we speak, we are having in excess of 800, close to 900,000 students, new students that have applied. And therefore, that is quite a huge turnout. And we are positive that we should be able to handle the processing that is going to be needed thereafter.
And have you, in the meantime, been able to deal with all the challenges that your organization faced ahead of even the opening of applications?
We have been working on all those that we had identified in the past, ensuring the systems are ready to respond to the issues, creating infrastructure for responding to the queries of students, and also having a plan to deploy people as students will be arriving at institutions at the beginning of the year. So we're confident that taking lessons from the past, but also listening to our stakeholders. We have been meeting with students, with universities, with the various stakeholders to understand what their frustrations have been, their pain points, so that we can be prepared to deal with them as they arise.
From both your consultations with students and other stakeholders, but also your outreach programs, where would you say the biggest pressure is going to be or come from?
Between now and end of December, it's going to be processing the applications, especially for those students that are non-SASA students, ensuring that we get to the end of December with the knowledge that the student is at least eligible for funding from NSFAS, so that when the student goes to an institution, they've got a letter that gives the institution that comfort, and thereafter we would be waiting for the registration at the institution. Once those two things are confirmed, we would be able to then fund the students.
Do you still have the challenge of not receiving adequate or appropriate documentation from students themselves?
Well, there are a few cases where such has happened, and in some instances, students have cancelled, but there has been follow-up on that. But there's also been cases where students were writing to myself or other stakeholders saying that I'm trying to uphold documents and I'm not able to uphold, and those students have been assisted. And we call upon other students that may still be facing such to make sure that ahead of tomorrow, they reach out to NSFAS for that assistance.
And they do get it. In other words, you do have the people to actually assist them and do so speedily.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And then obviously, I mean, your busiest period then is when many students get their matric results and get to know whether or not the universities that would have promised them would indeed be able to enroll them, and in certain cases enroll them in the courses that they would want to be enrolled in. Will you have capacity when that other pressure point comes to actually deal smoothly and speedily with the applications?
Yes, we have, as permanent employees whose job it is to do this, 29 employees. We have trained an additional 183 employees that would be available to assist at that time. So we believe that from a capacity point of view, we've put quite a lot of capacity to be able to respond to that. We're not suggesting there won't be any hiccups or any challenges, but I think we have put in place a plan that will enable us to be able to respond timelessly.
And that plan includes ensuring that your ICT system work, because that's the other part of the operation that has been giving
Yes.
problems. Can you vouch for your ICT systems this time around? Okay. It would seem we have lost Freeman Nomvalo there. Applications, of course, closing this weekend.
That
but
were identified, and the biggest... Can you hear me?
Okay, we didn't hear you for quite a bit, but if you can start again, if you don't mind.
Yes, yes. I'm saying that we have addressed the issues of the ICT, and we also are having a team that is on standby should believe that will be able to respond and address those as quickly as possible.
That's where we're going to leave it for now, Mr. Nomvalo. Let me thank you very much for your time all the way from Dar es Salaam. Not a great line, but at least we managed to have a conversation.